All right, welcome back to another episode of the Good Old Boys. Got with me today, buddy Crabtree. How you doing, man?
Good, and you?
Pretty good. So we just had about two different food experiences. We had what was it, Mr. Sushi? Yeah, Mr. Sushi. I don't eat sushi. That shit's gross. You ate it though. Did you like it?
I did.
What'd you?
Hawaiian roll and some tuna dish as well. The tuna dish I think had mango in it. It's pretty good.
I wouldn't know. I mean, I don't eat fish, but man, how do you? Is it just everything else around it that just takes the fish flavor away?
I just don't mind the fish flavor.
All right, fair enough. That's my problem. Is I can't get over the fish. Like it to me, it's so strong. It just ruins everything else.
I get it. I'm just open-minded to food, so I don't mind. I'll eat whatever, basically.
That's fair. Okay, I mean, he says that I'm a picky eater like a kid, but like literally, I'll eat anything. I just like I said, I just don't like fish, and I don't want Brussels sprouts and asparagus because they all stink. I hate the smell. But other than that, I'll eat anything else. You know?
I thought it was funny because when we were leaving, Chance told me that they never waited on you to order.
Yeah, me and her, they never came to like ask our order.
It was funny because when you were looking at your phone ordering, I thought you were just being picky and not wanting to eat there and looking where else there was food.
I was gonna eat there. I was just gonna get the hibachi, so I was just gonna get the chicken and rice, and yeah, they never asked. And it wasn't that little paper that you had. That's why I asked to look at it, because I was like, maybe I missed it. So I'm looking at it, and it's just all the fucking sushi and crab rangoons. And then they brought you fucking crab rangoons you didn't even ask for.
Yeah, got charged for it.
And and they made you pay for it. That's fucked up. Those were good, though.
They were. The sauce was good.
It was that sweet and sour?
I believe so.
So the crab rangoons. And then we went to Costa Vida. That was closed, or it was about to close, so I didn't want to go in. You know, I felt bad they were cleaning up. So then we ended up at Chipotle. And you saw my burrito. It was... So, like, it looked like I had double everything, but the thing is I got a normal burrito. Okay, so she got a bowl, and you saw, like, the size of her bowl. And I literally got the exact same thing she did, just that, like, she got two different salsas, I did two, and I got just one different one. So I got the exact same thing she got. But somehow the burrito was
It was
literally
as big as the bowl.
Well, yeah, it was like a newborn baby. Like
Yeah.
the head was up here, and then it fucking got smaller as it went down. Like
you should, if you would, you should post a picture of it. One of the pictures he took whenever you post on Instagram your new podcast, so they can get a.
I guess
get a look at that.
I guess I can. I don't know if I want to. Yeah, fuck it, whatever. I'll do it. You guys will see it. It was pretty. Man, it was good. I'm full. I'm surprised I can even do this, dude. I figured I'd be in a coma. Fucking dead. But that new chicken from Chipotle is pretty good.
Yes, indeed.
Well, I got this agua fresca, something. I'm only half Mexican, so I don't speak Spanish that well. Brought to you. Tomorrow's shit is brought to you by Chipotle. But so I guess I don't want to make it too serious, but we just watched two different videos of body cam footage from Nashville the other day. What did you think about it? I mean, I guess everybody probably has similar feelings about it, but like, what do you think about that? That whole situation? I know it's kind of a big question.
I'd say it's hard to summarize. There's a lot of. Trying to imagine how to explain it. There's just a lot of different aspects to it, I guess. Whether it's the type of person that thing was, whatever it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
her,
because they are still trying to figure out what race, gender, and identity, or what species they were.
right. I don't know, I just feel like this person was a little. It wasn't just some like emo kid that was angry or something. I don't know. It just seems. I don't know. But I mean, it's sad, I guess, and then it's also. I don't even know. Just a mess. I don't.
You think? Do you think something like this would is like is a good would be a good thing to? I don't want to not like leverage. I don't know the right word, but something that they could use to get teachers to be able to carry guns in school, or do you think that's just a bad idea altogether? Because it is kind of a double-sided thing. Like, I think it's not kind of a good idea, but then like, what if some crazy teacher's just having a shitty day? She's got all these shitty kids,
Right.
and she gets to carry a gun to school. What if she becomes the fucking shooter? So, I mean, it's definitely a conflicted option there because it's not. It's one or the other, man. But I think one's way less likely to happen.
I feel like schools. It probably wouldn't be the best idea. Schools are already filled with a lot of kids that are irrational at times, and sure, like you just said, a teacher could be irrational in some moment as well. And probably would not be a good idea. I feel like the alternative would just, I mean, if some possible way, maybe just put more cops in a school, but that's easier said than done as well. But I don't know if teachers with guns would be the best idea for that.
Yeah, I just had another thought too. Even up into high school, like most of the teachers that we had were women. I don't
That
like,
too.
dude. There's like 1 week a month I'm gonna be scared shitless to go to class every day. I'm not gonna know which one either. You know, it'd be offsetting. Unless they're old, then they're not doing whatever anymore. I don't want to make this funny, but yeah, I mean, I think I know they have like the school, like the resource officers and shit. Like our resource officer was like fucking 280 pounds and wasn't gonna do anything. Like,
right.
He couldn't catch anybody.
Here's another thought: you could always just make school surroundings better. For example, when I went to elementary school, our school had a full-on gate around it that was pretty tall, and on the outside was just neighboring streets. And there was big front gate, there was 2 side gates, and it was always pretty safe. So that'd probably be a good idea as well. Most of our schools here are just open building.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Like, just I mean, I've never been outside of the U.S., but and maybe TV and shows aren't that good of a something that good to go off of. But like, it always seems like in other parts of the world, the schools are always gated or something like that. Like you said, like they have some kind of fucking protection around it.
Well, that elementary school was actually when I went to Taiwan, so it was in Taiwan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like just simple things like that. They could easily do that here. I don't know why they don't.
Right.
I don't know if they like, I mean, it's weird. Like our high school was right across the street from a fucking police station. Well, now that I think about it, both of the at least 2 of the high schools where we grew up are both right next to police. Yeah, one's right next to a highway patrol, and ours was right across the street from the police station, which is weird. Our school was kind of looked like a prison or like a jail when you go
Isn't
inside.
that how most do?
Yeah. Man. So, what do you think about private military companies being hired to protect the schools? I'm talking ex-Navy SEALs and shit, just maybe not exactly walking around patrolling the hallways. I mean, if you're if all the students are in class, hell yeah, I just want dudes in army outfits, just army gear, just walking around with ARs. But
Maybe put some watchtowers around it with them in it.
No watchtowers, but maybe better like cameras
Yeah.
for sure. It's, I mean, you would just think that like the one place where everybody sends their kids because you have to would be like the most protected place of all, like in like any town, city, whatever. That's where all your kids go. Why is there not more protection for it? It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, there's obviously plenty of other reasons and causes. Although I just feel it's a generalization of our society is not at its best time right now, so shit like that's happening. But I personally have thought about it. I probably wouldn't put my kid in a public school anyways.
Yeah, I mean, we have a buddy that he's not putting his kids in public school just because of like you said the safety reasons and then all the other political stuff. But I mean, I've heard that it's even getting into the private schools. I don't really know. Like, I don't have kids or anything. It's just shit I've read.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that'd be a bit easier to handle in some ways since you're paying for it. So I think you technically have more of a say on, how it should be ran. Yeah,
you definitely should if you're paying, $10,000 a year even just to send your kid to school.
Right.
I'm sure most of these private schools are more than $10,000 a year.
Right.
But
I mean, as far as doing it, it'd be pretty easy, just persuasive enough to get a group of the moms together, and then if the school doesn't agree, you just take your money out. That's
PTA moms. Yeah. I'd go to that PTA meeting.
I'll join.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I mean, it's a wild thing to think about that like somebody could even, especially someone who's not even in school, especially not somebody who's out of high school. This was at an elementary school. That anybody would have like, or that somebody could do that. Like it's fucking insane. And they're trying. I don't want to. I've just seen so much stuff already of people trying to say that this was not like, it wasn't out of hate. It was they're standing up for trans rights, and like this is not standing up for trans rights to kill little kids.
If it was, then that's not obviously it's not a very intelligent way of going about it, but if you're not, yeah, like you just said, if she's not, it was an elementary school is what it was?
Yes, it was a private Christian academy.
So clearly there's no personal grudges there unless she's just been holding on to her grudge since she
did go to the school.
Yeah, so clearly there was no emotional intelligence developed there. And then, yeah, I don't know. Just a big target for attention, I think. And yeah, just... that's why I don't even know what to say about it because it's so dumb and just negative attention that it's giving for the rest of our country, I guess. I don't know.
And they're gonna try to use this again, which I can understand a little bit, but this is gonna be another one of those things that they try to use to make stronger gun laws and try to get people to give up their guns and shit like that.
I'd agree. I think that's a usual pattern of theirs.
But that's the problem is I don't think that'll ever happen.
Stronger gun laws?
No. Like, I don't think people will ever give up the people in America will never give up their guns. I don't think.
I couldn't see it. I mean,
what are they going to do? Go door to door and be like, hey, we're here to collect your guns?
It just wouldn't happen. I mean,
nobody would answer the door.
the fear might set in for some, but
I'm sure there's some people that would just be scared shitless if they just knock on the door and were like, give me your guns. They wouldn't know what to do.
Right. Yeah. As a growing person, though, and understanding more that just, fear God and that's it, I would not in a crazy aggressive way, but if it comes down to protecting myself, then I'm not gonna fear them. I gotta do what you gotta do. if yeah, if that means shooting and killing them just so I can run, or I don't know. Got to stand up for.
That means if you do that, the next headline after is just gonna say
Shit, maybe I should
white
say
Christian nationalist shoots at police officers.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, you just can't win them all. So
What was crazy is that it's now that it's actually never mind.
Here, I'll explain.
I don't want to go too deep. I don't want to get like super deep into that. Yeah,
you can if you want. I was just gonna say for what I just said, that I know that sounds crazy, but I just think, especially in today's society, there's just more and more of an importance to genuinely be true to yourself and not, let all the bad noise or the oppression from peers or government, whatever it is. I just think there's a growing importance for that. So that's why I say that is you have to stand up for yourself and your people.
I agree with you 100% on what you said. Yeah.
Yeah, because if we just always cave in, we're just getting worse and worse, and that's where we're at now. Is because people just they go with the norm and they're brainwashed. I mean, or lack of a better term, but you get what I'm saying.
No, that's exactly the right term. It is brainwashing. Everybody has literally they've been programming America since at least the fucking 50s, like after World War II and shit. But yeah, no, I agree with you. Exactly. I mean, I'm not handing my shit over. There's no possible way.
No.
Not at all.
What were you gonna say? What were you hesitating to? If it's not worth it, then I did it. But
it's just, I feel like I didn't see a lot of headlines about this saying that it was a mass shooting, and I feel like they're saying, or it wasn't like it's not hate driven or something like that, just because it's now it's a trans person, now it's not hate driven. Now it's something drove them to this, like they're trying to make excuses for it. And there are, I believe there are zero excuses for it. Like there's no reason that should have happened at all. Like if you're going to, I mean, it shouldn't happen to anybody, but it's just, if you're going to do it, like, why the fuck would you do it to little kids?
Well, and that's another reason for I just feel like there's not much to say, is because my personal opinion is the people who have gone down the thought of there's some different genders, just I think it's sick. Like, I don't see where there's any logical believing. I think a reason could be stemming from just not having self-worth and trying to find some sort of way. I don't know. I can't explain it, so that's why I don't understand. And I don't think you can really explain their actions if personally thinking they're...
One of my buddies that I had on, Dylan, he explained it and kind of like, it was a pretty good way of explaining it. It was like, he said I could be Dylan. I could claim to be Dylan and Ashley, and I would get praised for it, and people would tell me that's okay and that's fine. But if I started saying I was Dylan, Jacob, and John, they're gonna give me fucking pills and tell me I'm crazy and put me in some kind of mental institution or something.
Can you elaborate? What do you mean?
Meaning,
elaborate?
like bro, it's a mental illness. These like the transgender, it's gender dysphoria, which is a mental illness, but they're not looking at it as a mental illness. It's more of the just being praised, right? And like, you're so strong and all this shit, instead of them getting help,
slapped in the face
like they should. So that's what I'm saying. Like that could be. How is that not multiple personality disorder?
Right.
That's what they would tell you would have if he was. That's what I left out. Is he was saying like they would say I'd have multiple personality
makes sense.
disorder if I said that I was those, 2-3 other people, but if I said that I was a boy and a girl,
Right.
I'm just normal and I'm just being who I am.
Right. No, I agree with you. I think better help is definitely needed. Because me saying that.
BetterHelp.com?
What, is that an actual thing?
Yeah. No, I always shout them out. I always tell them they need therapy, BetterHelp.com. I'm not even sponsored, bro, but I help them out.
Yeah, because I don't want to come off as if I hate it because I don't like that. I don't agree with it. Well, I shouldn't say that either. Anyways, I just think it's as simple as what package you're in doesn't matter. So it's not even, it's just more of if they were to understand that and tone it down a bit, get more grounded and like chill out, they could realize that it's not that deep and they're tripping and there's more important things to worry about than if they're going to be accepted as wanting to be a girl instead of a man. Or dude, I hired this kid one time when I worked at O'Reilly's and he wanted to identify as an octopus, and I'm pretty sure his Facebook page says I'm an octopus or something like that, and he ended up going to a different store, so I didn't deal with it too much, but it was just weird shit. I don't know.
So is that what that means when I read that headline that said that they were trying to figure out what species they identify as? So is that part of this now? And you're telling me, I hate saying this like all the time, but like you're telling me that's not a mental disorder to be like, I'm an animal. I identify as a cat or a dog or like.
And
it's like the people that are like I'm a cat and they walk around with fucking like butt plugs with a tail hanging off of it. Like how is that not weird? How is that not fucking? I don't know, man. Maybe I think I'm the weird one.
No. Well, just from whatever perspective, maybe, but it's just it's bad too because they encourage it, obviously, and if they're the ones saying, "Oh, we need to find out what gender it is," and that's going to make someone maybe weak enough to actually start thinking about that. Oh, like what species? I don't know. Maybe just that's what opens the question up for someone wanting to. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I just think small clues like that is showing that they're pushing for it. Otherwise, they would just ignore that bullshit.
Well, the thing is that I don't see why any of that even matters. I don't see why it matters what age, race, species, what their sexuality, like what they identify with. Why does any of that matter for someone that just shot fucking 3 little kids and then 3 adults in a school?
And she's dead anyways.
Yeah. But it's just what does any of that have to do with somebody who just killed 3 little kids? Like, why is that even a headline? Makes no sense. That shouldn't even matter in the case. That literally has nothing to do with the case other than tell you whether they have like something going on in their brain.
Right. Well, I'm glad you say that too. Why does it matter? And it doesn't. That's exactly why. I've personally, I'm sure a lot of other people have noticed this already, but I've noticed that a lot of the news really is just smoke in the air, literally just to divert your attention. I'm sure
it's identity politics, all of it.
Well, it's just diverging attention away from what's really going on. I mean, whether it's financially or the new power, the more important plays behind the scenes of, like, I don't know if you saw, but 5 big countries. I think it was Russia, China, Brazil. I'm missing out a few others, but they're forming big alliances. That's not just nothing going on. It's things that might drastically change the way our world works. Things like that.
Didn't they all just agree to go to the Chinese currency to trade in oil?
I don't know the detail because I haven't read into it yet. I'd like to.
I think that's what they're trying to do is drop the U.S. currency as the currency that they trade in oil with,
which
is the U.S. dollar, which is why we have so much power around the world. Is because everybody, if you want oil, you have to trade in U.S. dollars.
Exactly.
But if that stops and everybody goes to China, we're fucked.
Exactly.
And I harp on it too much about the Chinese government, dude.
Well, no, I agree with you. I'm sorry. I'd like for you to continue what you were saying, but I was just going to add on to you was we would be fucked if which we probably are fucked because I don't see our government really making big changes. But I'm not an expert on it, obviously, but I think if our country was more self-dependent, I think it starts with the citizens too, like all of us. I mean, I really would like to get a greenhouse, for example. So imagine if a whole block of people supplies their own foods, and then it just goes on a bigger scale to where we can take care of ourselves. I don't know how that would work economically. Not necessarily saying that would make us the most powerful country in the world, but I just think it starts with every single person being more self-dependent, and then growing into economy, a whole nation. Maybe it's easier said than done, but
what about spending a whole generation of America as an isolationist country?
What do you mean?
So like, we do everything here. We bring back factories here. Everything's here. We don't really trade with any other countries. We don't do anything. Like, everything is here.
Right.
It's all, so everything you get is going to be fucking American. We do that I think if you do that for a while to build up the economy and then open back up, after a certain amount of time, maybe not even a whole generation.
That'd be great.
Like 10, 15 years, something like that. Something to build us back up.
I think, I don't know. I think there'd have to be a lot of, even like lifestyle. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. It'll be lifestyle changes for everybody. And
like the school system would have to change, the way kids are brought up, their morals, values. That all has to go back to what's actually matters, all that. But I agree with you, though. That would be great.
Well, because most of school, like, how much of what you learned through all the years of school you went to, how much of that do you use now, today, in your daily life to help you out?
The most I could say is if I were to get into a career that, I mean, I shouldn't say that. I think my best example would be and this is more so when I was in Taiwan, but when I was in elementary school, the teachers there were, call it old school if you want, but they just wouldn't put up with shit. They would keep you in check. I mean, I've gotten slapped by a few teachers, shit like that.
Yeah.
And just, you're taught to respect, you're taught to just I don't know, in my opinion, what the right things are, the right way to treat people, values, things like that. And so that's probably the most I've gained. I mean, maybe there's specific lessons of the importance of getting to places on time. I mean, that's important, but I mean,
how did you feel when you got back here and you realized you weren't going to get hit by the teacher?
What's that?
So how did you feel when you got back here and realized the teacher wasn't going to hit you?
It's just, I don't think I really paid much attention to that difference.
Fuck this teacher now. You're not going to do shit.
I mean, they don't. Dude, you still could, but some teachers, I'm sure y'all have seen that just get fucking walked over. But
they don't do anything.
They just also don't know how to build respect for themselves. That's about it.
Let's yeah. There's some teachers that I loved when I went to school, but then there's other teachers that's just like, dude,
fuck off.
Like, how you don't even seem enthused about what you're doing. How do you expect me to get into this and like want to learn this and then be like you're telling me I need this for my life, but you need this for your life because it's your job to teach me the shit that you got to school and realized isn't useful, but you already have all this information, so now you're like, oh, I could just go teach it and teach some more bullshit and have kids learn this bullshit and then get into this bullshit, and then by the time I'm ready to fucking be done, they'll be in to teach the same bullshit I was teaching.
Right.
It's fucking stupid.
It is. Funny quick story. When we were at the Mr. Sushi place, there was a teacher that actually walked in. He was in like a blue shirt with a Nike. I don't know if y'all even looked over it.
Yeah, I saw that guy.
Grayish hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't my actual teacher, but Chance remembers this because I was working at Paxton. Remember that one time I got expelled for hitting a vape in class?
You did?
Yeah. I had like I don't know, like 4 days of OSS and then 3 days of ISS. He was the detention teacher though when I got back. Shit was funny. So
Damn. I remember I got ISS one time, and then the teacher in there was my football coach. That sucked.
Yeah.
Fucking
Question:
hated
I haven't
that
asked you this in person, but what made you start the podcast?
shit. America.
America.
'Cause I love it, and
So-
they're trying to ruin it.
True. I agree with that.
And I
It's
want
a
to
good
keep
reason.
it. I want to keep it good, because we're gonna end up like China, dude. They want it to like. I could go more and more into it, but it's just I say the
I agree
same
with you.
shit all the time. It's just like there's bigger shit at play. It's not like
Exactly.
our government is the highest on the chain that you see public, like in the public eye. And I know people call me crazy, whatever, but you think that all these people, they're all running the show here, what's going on here. There's people behind them that are running the world.
Exactly.
The World Economic Forum, bro. Klaus Schwab. By 2030, dude, you're going to own nothing and love it. You're going to rent your car. You're going to rent your house forever. You're never going to have to leave your house because they're always just going to deliver your groceries. There's going to be no more grocery stores. It's just going to be Amazon warehouses with refrigerators.
Wait till you're a bad boy for a week and you get no groceries.
Oh, man. Oh, fuck, dude. Better keep your social credit score. I bet you better quit looking up porn, dude.
I know, right?
They're going to figure that out.
Can't let your phone percentage drop below 50.
Oh, God. Dude, I didn't think about that. Everything would just be tracked on your phone, right?
Allegedly, that might.
So, like, if your phone died, they'd be like, "Oh, you just dropped a couple points. You didn't want us to know what you were doing." But they'd still be able to track you, though. Like, they could still track your phone, but they just,
No, yeah, that. I agree
what would
with
they
you.
do with all the people that just go back to flip phones? They're like, "Fuck this."
I think it would. They'd probably just take off the technology. I don't know how that works because I don't know the technology wise of how, or the difference of a flip phone, like satellite connection compared to what we have now. Maybe it's not different, but I think they would probably, to discourage it, they would just take off what was needed for a flip phone to connect to satellite. But maybe you'd probably just find a smart enough guy that knows how to just upgrade it to the. I think if I'm sure if someone wants to find a way for it, they can. But
Right. You might just have to go to satellite phones. You know, those big chunky fuckers with the actual antenna.
Right.
Like flip up.
Well, apparently, one of Elon's project, the Starlink project, you've heard about that? That's where he's.
Is that the internet?
Yeah,
Like,
where
with
he's
the satellites.
like literally putting up satellites.
He sent them to like Ukraine.
Well, apparently, if it's true, apparently you can buy one.
I don't
For your
know,
own?
but I heard it didn't even work.
Really?
But that again, that's just something I read. I'm not saying it did.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
No, I also agree with you as far as there's just always a bigger thing at play. Funny you say it too, because I was just thinking the other day of just a funny, different perspective. But another thing that makes sense is like imagine playing chess. I mean, the king's on the board, but there's still the guy who's actually moving the pieces, and that's how you can
Right.
kind of look at.
I'm too dumb to play chess. I could play checkers, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
But yeah, Klaus Schwab, evil dude. I also thought it was cool that Jordan Peterson was discussing making a World Economic Forum alike project that was actually for the good of people.
Yeah.
And dude, I don't know. I'm just always shocked at how many people are just ignorantly following the things that go on and don't actually question if it's good or not. But
It's
that's
science, dude.
It's science, and then it's also just I don't know the basics or the nitty gritty of it, but it's just human nature to want to follow the norm and be a follower. I don't know. I don't know the science behind it, but apparently it's just how most people are.
I do not know. I'm just saying, like, it's science, bro. So just accept it. Like, it's science. What do you not get about it? If science proves it, it's true. I don't understand what you don't get.
So what science?
Just take the vaccine, bro. It's
Political science?
Dude, any science, bro. Oh yeah. Fuck, I can't. I forgot. Well, I'm just telling you. It's not like I'm not saying anything bad. I was agreeing. Take them. Take all three. I think you should. And get the boosters on top of it. I did.
Extra precaution.
I got 2 Moderna shots.
Dude, I got it in my butt cheeks because I heard that works better.
My nose is stuffy. See? I need to go get a booster, dude. My nose is getting stuffy. I got 2 mRNAs, dude. Or two Modernas, whatever. I only got 1 Johnson & Johnson because I was the scary one. I think that was like the least. That's the one they gave to like homeless people and shit. They just gave out for
Just
free.
passing them out.
Yeah, that's probably the most dangerous one. Or it was literally the safest one. It was just saline, and they just gave them nothing. They just gave them a little bit of fresh liquid in their body instead of all that fucking dope. Too much. On a good note, though, we can get some good news in today.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Tate brothers are free.
Indeed.
Andrew and Tristan, they're back.
Yeah, like y'all were saying, he just looks completely different.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been able to get, he hasn't had his $1 million lifestyle now. He's been in solitary confinement or whatever. If the tweets are to be true,
it's not for me to say obviously what's good for him or not, but as much as it sucked, look at him. He just came out. He looks like a whole new fucking beast. I mean,
yeah,
it's a challenge, so I'm sure he made sure to grow from it and not pity over it.
I read this whole thread on Twitter where this guy was explaining that it's not even really about this human trafficking case shit. It's really about that allegedly he's money laundering for some like Eastern European mafia.
Dude.
And like with the casino operation he talks about, he's even admitted in some videos like saying that he did some business with the mafia or some shit.
You never know. You just can never assume. I don't know. Who knows? I don't really know. All we know is the internet side, and that's also a different persona or character.
Money laundering, I don't give a fuck about, dude. Like
that too.
I still like him. I don't care, but I was just afraid I couldn't like him if he really was sex trafficking, which I didn't believe he was.
I think it's also just quieting them. I think they actually talked about a lot. I mean, whatever the controversy there is around them, there's still a lot of good things that I definitely think they spread that more people should spread. So
yeah, they're trying to feminize all of us, dude.
Yeah,
they don't want you to be a man anymore.
Bro, there's estrogen underwater.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? I know. I'm about to have my fucking stepdad. I'm gonna pay for his fucking testosterone and go get it, and then I'm gonna just we'll just put a drop in every bottle. That tea water. What? Hit that shit. Just get doped out on testosterone. You want to just fucking shoot up a bunch of tests and just run around. That'd probably be crazy, dude. That'd be an insane feeling, I bet. I don't know. I got all my testosterone still, I think. It's probably leaving a little bit. Who knows? Hopefully not. I'm going to go on a carnivore diet. Get all tea. I'm just going to eat just bull testicle to get all the tea back. I'll be fucking fully bricked up every morning. That's how you know you got good tea. That's what I was told.
Try it out.
But I'm not a doctor. Yeah. No, I still think it's kind of gay to even eat animal testicles, so I don't think I could do it.
I don't think I've ever tried one.
Some mountain oysters.
Mountain oysters?
It's like fried goat balls.
Oh,
my little sister's dad's family, they used to eat that shit.
I'd be willing to try it, but
okay. Add that to the list of food I won't eat is fucking just goat nuts.
It just doesn't seem like, I don't know. I don't think if I were to ever kill the wild animal, I'd just be thinking I'm going to use that for food. But I don't know. Is that more respectful part of just making sure you use all of its parts to the fullest?
No, I'm just. I would probably just leave the lower half of the animal and be like, "That's for the wild, bro. I caught this for me and the animal."
Yeah, you can feed someone else, right? Feed some other animal.
Yeah, that's what I'd do. If I had somebody with me, I would take the top half and give them the lower half so they deal with the asshole.
Or you could feed it to the dogs if you got dogs with you.
Yeah, I would have a dog. Yeah, if I was in that
asshole.
situation. Dude. That's what I want to get back to. I want to get back to the way people are supposed to live.
I agree.
I tell them all the time, I just want to get a huge plot of land, like a bunch of land, just build a bunch of houses and have all my friends and family live around there. And then obviously this would take a lot of money, but
well, dude,
make it sustainable.
That's where I think you could make it. I actually, that's kind of badass that you say that, because I agree. Like, I would love to get some land, and that's what I'm saying. Like greenhouses. Like, if we can get a big piece of land, just a bunch of greenhouses, so we can grow foods all year round. Then obviously, if the land's suitable, we can grow some off the land too. But I feel like a good efficient way to go about it would be, whatever skill you need help with on that land, depending on the person, you could. I mean, because I'm imagining the goal is to get, like 200 acres plus one day where I literally have my own space. And the goal is to, if I need a carpenter or a framer, or maybe, we're going to need multiples of them. So it's not just a one-time job. I can offer him to live there. You live here, and in exchange, you offer your skills for the people that end up moving here. Same thing for farmers. Same thing for a dentist. You live here and you offer this. I mean, you could just offer that life and protection for people, and I think that would be badass. I mean, just a self-sustainable village.
That sounds like something that, I want to do that too, but it also reminds me of something that I heard of in a little town called Waco, Texas, that the ATF and FBI just went in because they didn't like it.
What?
You know about?
I don't know about that.
The Branch Davidians?
I've never heard of that.
In Waco, Texas. I think it was the 90s. I don't even know all of it, to be honest, but I just know that they had a community the way that I want it, and it did not end well. The government didn't like that. They'll tell you that they've made documentaries, and they say that they were selling guns illegally and shit, but what they did was they bought shit wholesale. They would just buy big quantities of shit and sell it, and guns just happen to be part of that because they're in Texas and guns are popular anyway.
Right.
And you can get a lot of money selling guns, so they would buy a bunch of guns, go to gun shows, and sell them. And they tried to turn it that it was some they tried to make it seem like it was a white nationalist,
like a cult of some
sort.
Maybe.
Yeah. It was like a cult, is what they were saying. But that's the other problem is if you do something like that, you run into the problem of people saying it's a cult, and then it starts getting looked at, and then it's they find one thing, and then they're like, oh wait, we just don't like people not being under our control and not having to depend on us, so let's do something about it.
Right. Well, because if everybody, and that's where it's going to be hard, is because if everybody's starting to go self-dependent, then that's the thing, is if everybody were to realize we could literally just all come together, which again is also easier said than done, then there is no them over us. I mean, you can't, and if everybody's on the same page being self-dependable, then they lose their power. The only power they have is what they instill in us through fear. Other than that, there's no actual control. I mean, it's just about everybody realizing we're free people. So yeah, I mean that made sense. Unfortunately, I didn't really take into that consideration, but that's unfortunate.
We should just get back to no federal government, states only.
I would like that.
That'd be cool. What are we paying federal taxes for, bro? for them to send it all to the Ukraine.
If I've thought about it, and I would, but if the situation were to get to a point of we need to just hop a country, like not probably would be the best idea to not live here. Would you do that?
Oh yeah,
Or have you thought about where you might move to?
South America.
South America.
Yeah, Brazil. I was looking, dude. Like, so I was watching a video of like just the racing. There's like some video about like the racing scene in Brazil, and it showed they were at a gas station and it showed the gas price, and it was like, I think it said like four something. For this was for, I think I can't remember if it was for gas or ethanol, because I think it was 40% of the cars down there now take like Brazil went like tried to go like self sufficient basically like everything there, and so ethanol is a part of that, and a lot of I think it was like 40 or 45% of the cars down there can take ethanol or gasoline. So, but anyway, the price of the shit was like four something of whatever their currency is. I looked it up. It was literally 99 cents US a gallon. And the ethanol, I think, was more expensive than the regular gas. So, like, you're looking at less than $1 a gallon in American dollars. But granted, if it gets to the point where you have to leave, your American money might not mean shit.
Right.
Once you get down there. But it might still do you good because it's American money. And I'd be like, yeah, I'll take that.
For we'll see how much longer.
Where would you go?
What's that?
Where would you go?
I have some wants. I think I'd personally like to do some more understanding of them first before I actually picked a place in case of emergency. But Czech Republic sounds.
Oh, so you're going Eastern Europe?
Yeah, I would go like Eastern Europe area.
I would just be afraid to go to Europe.
Why is that?
I don't know. It just seems crazy. Like, I don't know. It just seems crazy over there. And it doesn't seem safe. But then again, maybe it's safer than America, and I have no idea, you know?
I don't fully know either, and that's, yeah, so. That's like, that would be ideal, but I don't know.
I would love to move to Japan.
Political situation is. That'd be cool, too.
Japan is my dream trip. I would love to live there, but the problem is that like 98% of their population is like natural born Japanese citizens. So like they don't have a lot of foreigners. And it's hard to even move there as a foreigner unless you like work for like a big corporation or something like that. And you want to experience like, I'm not gonna say that they're like blatantly racist, but like there's racist things about Japan. Like there's restaurants that'll say no foreigners. Like they'll have a sign. It'll be like no foreigners. If you're trying to like rent a place there to live, a lot of places won't rent to foreigners. And this is where they've been having problems with this. They're trying to open it up more now, I think, because they need more labor in the country.
Right.
But
makes sense.
There's just I don't think that there's like enough people to do all of like so many people are doing like working from home on a computer and shit now that they need people for like manual labor. But I'd go. I'd love to do it.
I don't know if this is true, but apparently they're not doing good with their reproducing for population.
Yeah.
So that'd probably be another pros if they allowed more people in.
Oh yeah. Because I think their older population is now bigger than their young population, and the younger people aren't having kids as much as they were back in the day. That's a good thing that'll never happen here. Girls are getting pregnant in high school here all the time.
We got a surplus.
Yeah.
Dude, I have this buddy who does I guess just court related work, and he has to just go meet certain people sometimes. But I mean, I don't, dude. Like, there's families there, bro. There, it's just mind blowing hearing some of the stories he shares. But there's people out there with, dude, kids like. There's like 14-year-olds having kids with 12-year-olds, dude. I mean,
What?
yeah, I don't know. Just crazy. Weird
What
shit.
is he, like a social worker?
Huh?
Is he like a social worker?
No, no. I don't really know how much I'm supposed to say either, so I don't.
Alright, yeah, that's fair.
I just don't. But he just works for. It's almost like the middle guy for the court and the people involved, checking up on them. If that makes sense.
That would be I don't know if I could do that. That would make me feel weird. Be like, you got pregnant by him. Like, ew. You guys were little kids.
Yeah.
Fuck. So, you said Croatia?
Czech Republic.
Czech Republic.
Right?
Yeah. Why Czech Republic? I mean, I know you said you got to do more research, but
just off the looks, yeah, it's going to sound very shallow, but so far it's very beautiful over there. I've heard, and here's the thing, I've heard good things about them, but that's where I just don't even want to come out and say it because I don't want to sound
the
dumb.
girls are hot there.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
Sure they are.
Fuck, I'd go to Korea too.
Korea would be
South
badass.
Korea. Maybe North Korea, bro. I'd try to make my way to the top of that regime, bro. Dude. If Kim Jong-un was like, come on, buddy, I'd be like, fuck, I'll do whatever. What do you want me to do, bro?
I think if there's an opportunity for every person to try to visit just about everywhere in the world if they can. So I think all of it would be great. North Korea, South Korea. Going to Japan, that would be awesome.
I know. I want to get out. I want to go see other places.
Soak in their cultures.
Yeah.
Open your perspectives.
I think it'd be so hard to leave. You know, like leaving everybody behind.
It is a hard part for sure.
And going like somewhere just like literally foreign. Just completely different from anything you've ever known. Like the farthest I've done with that was like I left Missouri and went to a different state on the other side of the country. That was it. And that was wild. I didn't last that long. I ended up back.
It's a challenge for sure, but I just think that's where the growth happens. So,
well, I think if I like switch, like if I move to a different country, I don't think there's really that much option for me to be like, oh, I want to come back now. It's a little bit harder. It'd definitely be fun. Yeah, and I think you're right. Everybody should get out there. And I think people should see, like, especially here, I think people should see that you can actually be, like, experience it for themselves from other people, that you can actually be happy without all the shit they think they need. You know, like, you don't need, like, there's people that have, like, villages in other countries. And they're not waking up, checking their phone, seeing what's going on in the world every day. They don't give a fuck. They just care about what's going on right there.
They're in reality.
Yeah, right. They all just work and farm, you know, do whatever, take care of the community, and it's good.
Right. Dude, see, I mean, there's another thing right there that's, yeah, just out of reality. That's, yeah, just another problem to most of society, but
yeah, I think especially kids, but I think everybody should go, and obviously it's a lot easier said than done because you know it's expensive, but if you have the chance, I think people should go. Get the fuck out of here.
Agreed.
See something else, even if you just go to like I don't know if Canada's maybe the best, but like Mexico, go down and don't go to like don't go to fucking Tijuana or Cancun. Like go to Mexico. Like go to Mexico City. Go to Chihuahua. Go to fucking I don't know Guadalajara something. Go somewhere over there.
All right.
Just get the fuck out. That goes for me too. I haven't been far. I mean, I've been to Hawaii, but that's technically
Dude, that's
still
still a good trip,
America.
though. I haven't been there.
I was
I'm
like,
sure it's
yeah,
nice.
it was cool. I was like 12, so I didn't really get to do too much cool shit, but it was still fun. I don't even like saying that. That sound like I'm fucking ungrateful for it, but it was fun. Well, it was a good one.
I
Thanks
agree.
for coming on, man.
Thanks for inviting me. It was a pleasure.
We did, yeah, almost an hour. That's good. All right.
Has it really been? Damn.
Yeah. I know they go by quick, dude. They go by quick. Well, thanks for coming again.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
If you're open to it, I'll have to do this again or some
Yeah,
other time.
yeah. We'll definitely get you back on.
I know you're still. I'm sure you got a whole other list of people you'd like to share some time with on here. But if you ever get an open spot, let
Yeah.
me know.
Yeah, no, there's a. I definitely want to. I just want to get more people that aren't exactly like. See, just I don't. It's mostly been the people that like I grew up with, or shit like that. So I want to get more people get bigger outside perspective because we all kind of fucking think the same shit anyway. So
yeah, I get that.
if I just have, everybody that I grew up with that I'm still friends with or whatever, it just sounds like at some point it gets to that. Like I already say the same shit every episode all the time. So when it's two people that have the same thing, it's
Makes
like
complete
double.
sense.
But yeah, so thanks for watching. See you guys next week.